Bowsers. How's it going, everyone? Let me do some little tweaking a little bit here. There we go. So y'all can see me a little bit. There we go. For show. Man. Oh my gosh. I know one thing for sure. I need a new computer, man, because this thing is lagging like no one's business. Lagging like no one's business. Oh my gosh. I'm trying, y'all. Y'all gotta give me a break, man. I'm trying. I appreciate y'all for checking things out. Hold on real quick. Damn. I think we're good on a lot of other fronts. All right, cool. I think we're good on many of the other fronts, but I could be wrong. All right. Ooh-wee. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Let me close some of these applications now, because I think that's what's going on here. So I'll keep that one running. I think I'll keep that one. Okay, whatever. Close some of these apps here. Way too much stuff running. No need for sponsors. Man, these bots are crazy. Oh my gosh. Crazy bots. Damn. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. Alright, let's see what we got here. Damn. Maybe like right here. Then maybe make this one bigger, or actually this might be better than just kind of put this like right in the corner here. Yeah, there we go. That should be a little bit better. For show. Damn. Who is this? What was that? Sorry, I missed what you said. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying some other stuff out, man. My computer is being super slow right now. Yeah. I don't even have access to my board or nothing. It is just like, oh, my computer is like burning up for like no reason right now. Ay. Man, how's the quality, yo? Can y'all see the quality? Let me see if I can pull it up on my other phone real quick. Hang on. I got a bunch of phones here. My throwaway phones. Let me see what it looks like. Because right now, this is just a testing thing. I'm just testing some things out. I'm running this stuff on my laptop, but this, like, my laptop is like scalding hot right now. It's like hella bad. My throwaway phones. Let me see what it looks like. Because right now, this is just a test. What's up with you? How you doing? What's up? My bad. I'm testing stuff. Maureen, what's up? Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Yeah, I'm testing stuff up. The interesting thing is I see your text messages on here or your messages, but on the other thing, I don't see any messages from you, which is really weird. I wonder if it's coming through maybe on the other platform. Let me see. Were you just browsing and you came across my stream or what? I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, I don't see, like, your chat isn't coming up nowhere else. I'm testing. Okay, I see it right here. It's starting to come in right now. I'm testing Streamlabs because I just set up Streamlabs, but I'm testing it right now. I'm streaming on like 6 different things. Hello. Let me see if this works. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of phones right here just testing them out. Oh, you're from the Philippines? That's what's up. How did you come across my live? Were you just like browsing and you just, it was like, oh, that's interesting, and you just joined in? And where you, oh, you're on YouTube. That's what's up. Damn. I forgot that I was even streaming on YouTube. Hey, be sure to hit me with a thumbs up if you're joining me on the YouTube. Thank you so much. I don't even know how many people are joining in on YouTube, man. I can't even see. Oh no, I am on YouTube right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see now. It's 3 people on YouTube right now. That's cool. For sure, for sure. I appreciate it. Damn. Just browsing. That's what's up. How old are you? How old are you? How do you like the Philippines? Have you ever been to America or what? I'm thinking. You think I should have the logo here, or should I move the logo like here a little bit? What do you think? Should I have like the logo here? Like maybe right here? Is that better? Damn. What do y'all think? I need y'all to help me out. Is the logo better there? Or thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you, y'all. Be sure to sub the channel too. I'm gonna be posting some more cool stuff, okay? But my computer's like lagging like crazy right now. I'm still just testing some stuff out. I genuinely think, oh shit, I genuinely think it's time for me to get another computer because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's like lagging by several seconds. 33 my relatives are in the US, not logos at the original place. Okay, so you like the logo in the original place? Okay, let's see. All right, I'll put it back. All right, there we go. All right, I just put it back right there. Hopefully that's better. The only thing that I'm worried about is, I don't know if you can see the back arrow, but it looks like the back arrow and my face kind of interferes with it. So it's kind of tough. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't know. But in a little bit, we get ready to start talking about dating and relationships. I don't really know if this is in your wheelhouse because you are in the Philippines, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. But a lot of this stuff wouldn't really, it wouldn't really relate to you just because culturally, it's a lot different. Yeah, there's a huge, terrible delay. Like I think the delay is probably as much as like 30, 20 seconds or something. Is bad. Holy shit. Wow. But we still gonna try to see what's up. Hang on. We gonna still try to make something happen, y'all. I appreciate y'all for being in. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, we're gonna try to see what's up. Oh man. Yeah, dating here is definitely a lot more interesting. So in American culture, dating is a lot different. I mean, you being in the Philippines, I'm sure you could relate to this quite a bit. I'm sure you see quite a bit of American men, or not even just American men, but Western men. Uh, you're probably seeing a huge influx of them in the Philippines. Have you noticed that? Like a big influx of American or Western. You date too many? Yeah, for sure. We date to marry? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say folks here do kind of as well. It's just that everything is super transactional here. So, in other words, like in the Philippines, one of the things that I noticed was a lot of the women tend to be more focused on how they can be an asset to a man. But in America, women are overly focused on what a man can do for them. And they just think because they just merely exist as women, they should just get whatever they want. But I'm going to talk a little more about that. I'm definitely going to talk a little more about that. Yeah, hang on. Oh shit. Hang on. I forgot to do something. Tickfinity. All right. But yeah, so usually here in America, um, a lot of the ladies, because in America, women, I don't know how it is in the Philippines. I would imagine it's probably the same. But in America, women greatly outnumber men by millions and millions. But a lot of the women tend to not treat the men too well. And like I was saying earlier, you would probably see a huge influx of American men going to the Philippines because a lot of American women don't really treat American men too well, or just men in general, you know? So it's kind of bad, but it's just, but we're gonna dive into it just in a sec. What the heck is going on? Where the heck is my board at? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Jeez. Where's my boards? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Use this one. All right, we're going to touch on this again. So the topic that I have right now is why average women don't want average men. So in America, like I said, a lot of average women tell average men that they're not good enough. How crazy is that, huh? How crazy is that? Average women telling average men that they're not good enough. Insane, wouldn't you say? So we about to get into it right now. Yeah, I had some weird stuff happen to my live. I don't really know what's going on anymore. You said Western women are losing a lot of respect for men. Yes, absolutely. Eric, you gosh darn right. Absolutely. And it's become such a wild cultural thing that a lot of American men, I mean, it's like a new phenomenon. I'm sure many of you heard about it. It's called the passport bros. You know, a lot of people have been doing that, which is pretty crazy, you know? But that's what's kind of been happening at this point. It's kind of, you know, pretty intense. Define average man, just a man that works a normal blue collar, white collar job. He's pretty content with what he has. He makes average, so he makes national average. So, for example, in America, the national average for men is like I think 47 or 48,000 a year, something like that. So this is just an average man. But what happens is you have a lot of below average and average women wanting this like exceptional above average man that most of them can't qualify for. Yeah, exactly. Any, you know, like I said, white collar, blue collar man, making average, they often remind him and tell him that he's not good enough. And so usually what happens is, like many of these women, they would uh, friend zone these guys and then complain that they can't find a good man. And I never understood that. I never understood that. As long as he has a job, fears God, and close to his family, I think Asian women are all good with that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's the huge difference. That's the huge difference. Like Asian women, and especially like in your culture, they would like that. What's up, Rosetta Plummer? How's it going? Welcome in. Like, women in your culture, they would be more okay with that and content with that, and they respect just honest, hard-working men. But unfortunately, in a big part of Western culture, that's not really quite the same. So, and that's why I was saying, like, that's why you're seeing a lot of men go to Thailand, go to the Philippines, things like that. So, it's common, and we're seeing more of that. But I don't even know if there will even be a change. I genuinely don't know if there will ever be a change. Hey, thanks for the heart, me. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Rayoni, what's up, my friend? Nurse Kaya, what's up? How's it going? So, hey, thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. We more focus on loyalty and caring than money. Yeah, that's really good. Absolutely. I wish more people were like that, you know? Absolutely. Maureen, you're in bed right now, Rayoni? That's cool. What time is it out there where you're at, Rayoni? Yeah, and Maureen, so unfortunately, in Western culture, money is a huge component. Everything is very transactional. It's all predicated on how much money the guy has, what he can offer in terms of benefits, and a slew of other things. Hey, Nurse Kaya, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for the rose. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, it's all predicated on a lot of that. Thank you so very much for the roses. Thank you, girl. Sagittarius nurse, OSU football, fan navigating these TikTok streets. Go Bucks. All right. Thanks for the TikTok, Rayoni. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Man. But yeah, so Maureen, yeah, that's what a lot. Hey D, what's going on? Welcome in. So that's what we're seeing a lot. And when it's already bad enough where you have a lot of women who are all chasing this like subset of men, right? This subset of men. So you have most of these women, and they want this like very niche man where most women just can't get, right? Even in just numbers wise, they can't get, but they all want this same subset of men. And it's so interesting. It's so fascinating. Mitchell, what's up? Sky, what's up? Anthony Blumpus, what's up? Tribute, what's up? Rayoni, thanks for the likes, my friend. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for running those likes up. But yeah, and I appreciate the thumbs up, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Star One, what's up? Welcome in. And that's what it's all about, And you know, a lot of these women, they say they want a relationship and everything, and they'll meet these men, they'll become friends with them and everything, but then they'll friend zone them. That's the thing. And then these same women will say, well, I can't find a good man. It's like, well, you don't have to look far. They're in your friend zone. These are just men in your friend zone, but they don't want these men because they're too nice. That's why that saying exists: nice guys finish last, right? Nice guys finish last. Because a lot of times, a lot of these women, they don't want the nice guys. They don't want the nice guys with the average jobs that's going to be safe. One person, Leandria, said there's no chemistry, right? And that's the thing, you know. And they want the bad boys because and a lot of it too is just being a perpetual victim, right? They need to be a victim. Who told me that? Russia, what's up? Bravo, don't spread in false reality. What do you mean? What do you mean spreading false reality? Okay, self-taught tattoo artist, Russian sobriety journey. Well, привет, доброе утро. Я знаю, как это по-русски. Как дела? Как вас зовут? Неплохо. Well, so what they say, Maureen, is they want it all, right? They want it all every single time. They want it all. That's good, Keisha. That's good. And Keisha, a lot of ladies don't say that though. It's good that you want an average man. A lot of ladies don't want to build with an average man. They just don't. I don't know why. I don't understand why. There's a lot of great guys out here. They don't want to build with an average man. That many of them want this exceptional above average man. So like I was just explaining, you have a lot of below average and average women all wanting this exceptional unicorn above average man. You know? And it's sad. And it's just like, really? You said the sinister minister said my homegirl moved to the USA from the Philippines 6 years ago. She got married and had some kids. Now is single because husband cheated. So she's single. Okay, so let's take that. Okay. He cheated. She has kids. What else does she think is out here waiting for her? He cheated. Does she think she's going to get out here single with all of these kids and think some new man is just going to take her on with another man's offspring? Because that's what it boils down to. It's like ain't no other man signing up for that, especially in Western culture. Especially in Western culture. A lot of men are not signing up to, because she's initially looking to be a stepfather. Men are not signing up to be stepfathers. Absolutely not. You said she doesn't sleep around, doesn't date, just gave up romance. Yeah, I mean, for folks like her, the sinister minister, she probably need to go to therapy. Leandra Gumpdropstead, skill issues. Hey, thanks for the heart puff. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Down to a 1.5 now. Don't push it. What do you mean down to a 1.5 now? What do you mean? What do you mean down to a 1.5? What do you mean? Issa Melissa said it's because they haven't been raised to be humble. Yeah, yeah, that's true. America has more single parents than the majority of the world. I could believe that, Russia Inc. I could believe that. Yes, absolutely. I can believe that. It's crazy. Ain't ain't no one want to hear you yap yap. Hey, me now. You could Abby Lee. You could bounce. You could bounce. We're having this conversation. You could totally bounce. This is where we have. This is my channel with my conversations. I can do whatever I want here. That's the beauty about about this stuff. It's just you could just talk about whatever you want. And it's cool. And these are really interesting conversations. These are really interesting conversations. Hey, man, y'all are hooking me up with the gifts, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Angel. I appreciate it. That's a harsh reality. Absolutely, Keisha. Absolutely. A lot of this is the harsh reality. And we have to have the tough conversations. A lot of people don't want to have the tough conversations, unfortunately. A lot of people do not want to have the tough conversations. Man, I appreciate y'all. Man, thank you so much, Miss Angel. Oh, man, you are hooking up the gifts. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The protagonist said, I wouldn't mind being a stepfather if a kid can secure you away you don't love the woman. Well, the thing is with a kid that, the notion with that is you could sink money, resources into that kid. You don't get any of that back, right? So if you're willing to do that, that's fine. Good on you. You're a rock star. But most men are not looking to be stepfathers. Most men don't want to sink their hard earned money into another man's offspring. Why? Because it's not a net positive for him. Some men will do it in perhaps some sort of desperation to quote unquote save her, to be a hero, whatever. But, the grander scheme of things, he could develop a great relationship with that kid, right? I mean, be everything that kid need, and she could strip all of that away from him in an instant. She could wreck that relationship because it's not his kid, and there's nothing he could do about it because he's not the biological father, and that lies the issue, right? The sinister minister said, I feel bad because she grew up traditional and cooks and cleans, works, etc. When you said then the Western way ended up screwing over her. Western culture has gotten crazy. Absolutely. And that's why a lot of men are leaving Western culture. And that's why I was saying a lot of Western guys, they're going to like the Philippines, they're going to Thailand, things like that. What's up, Cliche-ish? How's it going? Welcome back. It's good to see you again, Cliche-ish. Russia E said, but blame the woman. They want the same rights as men, and now men have become weak in America. I mean, it's not really a thing of that, but men have just made it ultra comfortable for women, which is fine. I mean, this is what society has brought about, is, given extended comforts and provisions and protections and resources for women. That's what we came to, right? But it comes at a tragic cost, right? Because what happens, right? I mean, look at all of the sayings that exist, right? Right? And you see a lot of divorces, right? That's why a lot of states are looking to do away with no-fault divorce, right? Because women have overwhelmingly abused it, right? They would file for divorce, citing their happiness or lack thereof. Oh, I'm not happy. Therefore, I want a divorce. I'm going to ruin my family, wreck my family, wreck my relationship, split the kids up because I'm not happy. And that's, a man will always sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman, she would almost always sacrifice her family for her happiness. And we seeing it in real time. A lot of states are looking to do away with no fault divorce because of this, because women have abused the system. Like states like Florida and all that, they're looking to do away with no fault divorce. Oh, I'm not happy, you know? And and that's what I said. And realistically, for the longest, no one gave a crap about men, and that's the issue. No one really gave a crap about men, right? Only women, children, and family pets will always be loved unconditionally. Men will only be loved under the condition that they can provide. That was quoted by Chris Rock, and I'll never forget that saying because that's real. That is real. Is religion a big thing for Western men when it comes to relationship? Religion, not so much. A lot of Western culture, you would see in the church, it's overwhelmingly women. I mean, you would see like some little pockets of men in the church, but in the churches now, it's overwhelmingly women. Nah, you're not factual, my guy. You speaking macho shit. Shisha mystery. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What are you talking about? There's nothing macho about it. We're just having a normal conversation. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Me and my man broke together. What do you mean, Shay? What do you mean you and your man broke together? You mean y'all struggling together? Is that what you mean? Factually honest, for sure. I'm so glad I make my own money and don't have to accept the bare minimum. Well, you have to make your own money. You have to. That's the thing. Ain't because no one is there. So you have to make your own money. And, you don't get a badge of honor for that. You have to take care of yourself because no one is going to take care of you. So you have to do these things, right? Tyrone Lou said, did I mention I'm 6'4", 25, Latino, six-figure income? Veiny for, I mean, yeah, you're probably what many women would want. Robin said, mature women here, my opinion is young women today have over exaggerated self-worth and less value. That is quite the comment, and I'm glad someone said it. Because many of you ladies, let's just face it, you have an overinflated sense of self-worth. We see many of you call yourselves tens and all of this other nonsense. We all know darn well that that is not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. But that is one hell of a saying. Thanks for sharing that, Robin. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Hey, y'all, I appreciate the follows. Thank you so very much. Be sure to send in your daily heart me to support me. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. And men have gotten effeminate for sure. Dragon said the reason females don't want males is they are tired of patriarchal misogynist males. Well, I mean, do you have any alternatives that you could compare that you would like to live under? Because men provide the comforts, the protection, the resources. Make no mistake, right? Thank you so much, Maureen. I appreciate it. Make no mistake that all of the comforts you come to enjoy is by the blood, sweat, and tears of men, not teams of women. And let's be clear, women outnumber men by millions in this country, okay? By millions. But for some crazy reason, men dive into the harsh, complex elements of society, exposing ourselves to harmful toxins, chemicals, all of that stuff, right? Men maintain this vast and complex infrastructure, not women, not teams of women. We live in a society that you could get into trouble and need assistance at any given time. You just pick up your phone and dial 911, and a team of men will come and rescue you and save your life, be it law enforcement, paramedics, firefighters. Let's just face it. If you're in a burning house or building, I'm sure you wouldn't want a team of women to come. I'm sure you would want a team of strong men to come to rescue you. So let's stop the cap, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Your comment, Dragon, is the perfect example, right? Everything is misogyny, right? Like this radical feminist ideology. It's just, you know, you can look up, down, left, right. Everything around you was created, curated, designed by men, overwhelmingly. From the plumbing in your floors, the paved roads, the laid brick, the clean drinking water, this vast, complex infrastructure, it has been created and maintained by men. All of the comforts you come to enjoy today is all because of men. But you will never give men flowers because you grew up to have a hatred and contempt of men, which is fine, but just know that that comes at a cost. That comes at a cost. Let me do some catching up, y'all. That's right. Happiness is the most important. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Ryan said happiness is the most important. Is it though? Because if you're with someone, you have duty. If you get married, you typically take vows, right? For better, for worse, things apart, death do you part, blah, blah, blah. It don't say anything about happiness. It doesn't say dot, 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 oh, in your happiness. You have duty. Be it you're in a relationship, especially if you're married to someone. Because you're going to have days that are ups and downs. You don't just, it's like, oh, I'm not happy, therefore I'm going to ruin and wreck everything, you created, through these years. That's crazy. That's ludicrous. Hey, y'all, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the follows, the likes. I appreciate it. A man who knows nothing of women. Oh, I know enough. I know enough. I know enough. It's just that many of you are just so insufferable. You don't want to hear anything from a man's perspective. That's all. You're so insufferable. Your opinion means more to you than keeping a man. Your opinion means more to you than anything else, which is fine. But again, if you've set, you purchase your one-way ticket to Spencerville, more power to you. This isn't the content for you. Please proceed to Spencerville. This isn't for you. This is for folks who want to have the conversation, the tough conversation, who want to be held accountable, who want to, be involved with self-awareness. That's all. This sounds. How did that sound? I'm going to take it no more. I'm going. I can't take him no more. All right, lover girl. See you later. See you later, lover girl. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Wow. What is that? That was cool. Man. Are you divorced and bitter? I am not. Never been married. Have a good night, people. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Some men just seem like they don't know how to properly connect or interact with women and get mad. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that, we live in a day and age that, men cannot share their standards, expectations, or boundaries. You see yourself, men are shamed, men are insulted, men are guilt tripped, because just a few years ago it was taboo for a man to share his standards and all of that. Maureen, out here it is 10:51 p.m. my time. Yeah, absolutely, Angel. I mean, and that's the point. Yeah, and a lot of these women, unfortunately, they're going to end up spinsters and cat shepherds and all of this other stuff. I mean, that's just the harsh reality. It's not a tough conversation. You're lying and delusional. I'm lying and delusional. What exactly am I lying about? What exactly am I delusional about? You don't have to look too far. We gladly take Spencerville in our peaceful, clean homes with our hobbies and friends. But Mary, a lot of that, you're not getting a lot of that. That's all. You're chasing manifestation madness. You're chasing delusion. Spencerville sounds like a good time. Hey, if Spencerville sounds like a good time, and again, this content isn't for everyone. Like I said, for those of you who are, content with living a single life, if you're great at being single, more power to you. Just keep in mind, in this great, beautiful nation we call the US of A, many you ladies, y'all outnumber men by millions and millions. So I think we'll be good if a few of y'all stepped aside, okay? Make room for the women who want to be in a relationship with a man, okay? The worst type of woman a man want to deal with is one who's disruptive, confrontational, argumentative, disagreeable. You all, I mean, in the end, many of you just do it to yourselves. Again, your opinion means more to you than gaining a man, keeping a man, because you just want to, be overly opinionated. It's like, okay, if your opinion means more to you than anything else, okay, have fun being single. And many of you say that, but then you all will share that single bed by yourself. You'll be in that bed by yourself. And if you're fine with that, hey, more power to you. You do you, boo boo. But this is for the women who want to change their ways, their wicked ways. For me, a good, mature conversation is the key to a good relationship. Absolutely. And that's the thing. You want to be open with your partner. You want to have that dialogue open, that conversation. You want to make sure you have all of that available. It's so important. It is so, so, so very important. I appreciate you for sharing that, Maureen. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that because it is so, so, so very important. Pierced by Pisces, I am. Well, because we know we've seen it, and that's the thing. Many women are overly focused on what a man should do with them and for them, and many of you have lost what you should be doing for a man. How you should make yourself an asset to a man, and that's where a lot of the issues come from. Many of you don't even know how to make yourselves an asset to a man. You just think by merely existing is enough. It's not. You have to do more, especially for the kind of caliber of man many of you say you want. We don't care. My husband is better than you in every way, and I still don't need him. Wow. Wow. Really? For someone who says something like this, that doesn't appear to be someone who's this viewer stays anonymous and okay. I mean, and I see why you're anonymous, Enigma. But for someone to say something like that about their spouse says enough about you, your ideology, your mindset. And in my opinion, if you don't need him, why are you with him? Men go where they're needed. If you don't need him, leave him. Let him be with a woman who needs him. Men don't look for women who are independent. We want women who are interdependent. Interdependent, not independent. If you want to go to the mountain shop on the mountaintops and scream and double, triple down how much you don't need a man and how much you don't need your own husband, that's on you. But that just spells nothing but disaster. Wow. Dustin, I'm not answering that. Dustin, you tripping. Because, well, for the first group, I don't know. The second group, I think there's hope, but I think we probably won't change it anytime soon. I think there's a lot of it's probably going to take a damn alien invasion or something before we see any major changes. Hey, thanks for the roses. I appreciate it, Rayoni. Thank you so very much, my friend. Carrie, I already found what I wanted, so I'm pretty set and content. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for the gift. A relationship is a team. There are things you agree and disagree about, but if you choose to work it out and talk about it, then what's relationship is about? It's a matter of choice. And Maureen, you're absolutely right. Coming into an agreement with your partner, Hang on, y'all. I'll be back. Hang on. God damn, that was a high-speed chase by me, man. That shit was crazy. All right, let's see. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's the thing, life is about choices and trade-offs, right? And that's the thing. In Maureen, here in Western culture, a lot of American women, they want it all. They want it all. So they create in their mind this idea of this man, right? And they don't understand that, this exceptional above average man that has to probably meet and exceed their expectations. He could probably meet and exceed the expectations of a lot of them, and he's probably not going to deal with them. And a lot of the women who are talking now, they're single, they're single, but they're so insufferable. It's just like they don't even know what to do and how to do it. And it's just like, just have the conversation. Oh, wow. Thank you so very much for the gift. Wow. That was cool. Thank you. Robin said, I made six figures, as did my husband, best friends, and cheated an incredible life. That's marriage. Yeah. And that's the thing, Robin, in the end, it's like, and you see folks of other ethnicities, like even like, for example, Hispanics, particularly Mexican women, right? The spouse, the husband, he may cheat, right? He may cheat. The wife would give him a hard time, but she would not leave him. She will not divorce him, because for her, keeping the family together means more. And she also understands too that beyond him ain't nothing else out here. So it's still probably better to keep the children with their biological father. But in American culture, they don't really operate that way. And then they think that some other guy, because they're on like some Sierra Prayers nonsense, they think that, he's going to come in and take her on, another man's offspring, and, just become a passport bro. I mean, that's an option. Lady Ashley, I mean, that's an option. I mean, a lot of men are doing it, because, a lot of men, they, just like women, a lot of men are average, right? But the issue, and like I explained before, the issue is most women are average. Most of you are average, but many of you think that you're exceptional and above average. And so, oh shit. Damn. Yeah, many of you think that you're above average, but the reality is you're not. You're not. My bad, y'all. There's like a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of like cops flying around. My bad. Thanks for the roses. I appreciate it. You said, Apple user, you said because men are supposed to lead, right? That's why you males claim. So to lead, you need to be, well, yeah, that's the thing. So let's touch on this. All right, we're going to touch on this right now. We're going to touch on this. Okay, Apple user 998. Yeah, men are supposed to be leaders, but a lot of women don't want to be led, right? You see it yourself, right? Oh, I'm independent, right? Again, men are looking for women who are interdependent, not independent. You said it yourself, right? Yeah, men want to lead, right? Because generally speaking, women are hypergamous. Women want men bedded in them in virtually everything. But then in the same note, they'll scream that I'm independent, I don't need a man. But then many of them who do claim that they want a man, or say I don't need one, but I want one, as if it's just a luxury or something, when in actuality, the reality is many of them need one like their damn life depends on it. But, most women are hypergamous. So women generally are hypergamous. They want a man better than them in virtually everything. Bigger, stronger, earns more, whatever, right? Smarter. They want a man better than them in virtually everything. So that being said, if they get to a point where they find this man, they don't know how to act. And a lot of them are not feminine. A lot of them have a lot of masculine, hyper masculine traits. And these type of men that can provide that type of lifestyle and all of that, or a good middle class lifestyle, a lot of them are not looking for masculine women because for one, he doesn't have nothing to prove to a disruptive, masculine, confrontational woman. That's not going to be attractive to them. He's going to want a soft, polite, caring woman who's going to be an asset to be his peace. He's not looking for a liability. He's not looking for a headache. I mean, look at Leslie Jones, right? We've all seen it ourselves, right? What did Leslie Jones say? We're going to pull it up right now. Let me see if I can pull up what Leslie Jones says. Our dear Leslie Jones, what she say? We're going to pull it up. I want y'all to hear what she says, okay? I want y'all to hear what Leslie Jones says. All right, here we go.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful. I'm rich. I can fight. I will say it. I love men. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. But I don't love a stupid man. If you can't be with my peace, you can be with the door. Yeah. Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours? I'm sick of men telling me, oh, wait, you hardcore. Yes, I am.
Can you handle it?
Well, what you bringing to the table? I am the table.
So, and that's just to give you for her, she may not see an issue with that, but a lot of men do. Even me, like, I'm bigger than Leslie Jones, right? I'm taller. I probably weigh more than her, and I'm physically stronger than her, even though she's a big, brawly woman, but I'm bigger than her. I'm stronger than her. But no man wants a woman like that because it's super unattractive. It's super unattractive. That's a walking nightmare. But that's how a lot of women operate. It's like, well, why don't you want a woman like me? It's like, because you're just a walking disaster. I want to come home to peace and tranquility after diving into the harsh and complex elements of society. You see what I'm saying, Maureen? This is what I'm saying. This is the type of stuff that Western men have to deal with. And that's just but a taste. That is but a taste. And let me say, y'all, over here, I'm talking to someone else who's in the Philippines. She think y'all crazy. Y'all Western women, she think a lot of y'all are crazy. She's wondering why y'all don't respect your men. She's wondering why y'all don't go overboard to do for your men. And this is the thing. This is why they're winning, you're losing. Y'all better take some notes and learn from the women in the Philippines. And this is why we're seeing things like this passport bros phenomenon. Because men go where they're wanted. Remember what I said earlier, ladies? Men go where we're wanted. If you're steadily saying, I don't need no man, I can do all bad by myself, and wonder why men shy away, it's like, and then, you have men like me attempting to tell you, but then you're still resistant and you reject constructive feedback. It's like, what do you do? What can a man do? You can never say it. You never heard it before. I'm telling you right now, men don't like that shit. You're never going to get a man acting like that. No man has to conform to many of you ladies. And this is most important, ladies. No man owes you an understanding. Okay? You have to it's like a job interview. You have to bring the best version of yourself. And many of you have to overperform. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Many of you have to overperform because you're lacking in other areas, the looks department, whatever. Many of you need to overperform. That's just how it is. Because again, many below average and average women, many of you want this exceptional above average man that we all know many of you cannot qualify for. Maureen said, I want a man that can make me feel safe and loved. Simple as that. Absolutely. Absolutely, Maureen. You goddamn right. And ladies, listen, men are simple. Men don't ask for a lot. Men are very simple. We're simple, very simple creatures. Let's see. Submissive men. I mean, mystic's shadow, if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for a submissive man. But that's what a lot of these ladies are looking for. A lot of these ladies are looking for a submissive man. And it's gonna be tough for a lot of these ladies to find that type of man that's ready, willing, and able to conform to their ideologies, their beliefs, their lifestyle. Because men like, and especially these top tier men, they don't conform. They don't need to. Ladies, listen, many of you, you have to compete with other women who are around these men. And yeah, you have to compete. If you want the kind of caliber of man you say you want, you have to compete. If you don't want to compete, okay, step aside. It's as simple as that. We don't want them, period. And you know what, Mercy, I think this is a good entry point into our next topic. Thank you so much. We don't want them, period. Great entry point into the next topic. Thank you so very much for that. Boom, here we go, ladies. Has the cis code ruined it for women? Has the cis code ruined it for women? What do y'all think? Because we all know that the cis code consists of what? Deception, lies, false praise, the echo chamber. Yeah, we going there right now. Has the cis code ruined it for women? What do y'all think? Absolutely. Absolutely. Women always date up. Women are hypergamous. They date up. Men date down. Absolutely. Case in point, ladies, this is why men don't care about your degrees, how much you've accomplished, how much money you may have, because we know we'll never have access to it. So it doesn't matter to us. Your degrees don't mean anything, especially for you career students with your 10 bachelor's degrees and all this other nonsense. Men don't care. And everything is in humanities. Men do not care about that. All right. Young Water, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I think men should talk to men. In what sense? What do you mean by that? Nene said, my man treats me as equal, so he is better than anyone who expects submission. Well, he doesn't treat you equal. He can't treat you equal. You're not equal. If he's treating you equal, he's probably not doing his job right. I'm just saying. Because by no stretch of the imagination is it equal. Because if you got into a conflict and the two of you are together, you're going to expect your man to jump in to risk his safety, his freedom, his life for you, right? He's expected to provide provision, protection, resources, stability, a foundation, not so much you. That's the stark difference. And I think we lose track of that. We lose sight of that. It's always going to be expected he's to provide more. There is, by no stretch of the imagination, equality. Here we go right here. I need a man, wanted a man. You can still have a man. I hear you, spiritually humble. You can still have a man. You can still have a man. And for many of you, you know, for as long as you're willing to do the work, there's hope for you. But you have to do the work. You have to go to therapy. You know, many of you strong, independent women, but still might need a man, but you're too proud and egotistic to, you know, admit that you actually need a man, like your life depends on it. Go to therapy. You know, you made all that money. You make all that money. Hire a coach, hire a consultant, right? Get yourself together so that you can get out here and have a fighting chance. It's easy. You just got to do it. Yeah, exactly, Maureen. Exactly. You know, but the thing is, I mean, any man who's 18 or older, I mean, he's still dubbed a man. But the issue is a lot of these women don't want to build with a man. That's the thing. You know, they want a man that comes already ready with assets, resources, all of this other stuff, and they come in with nothing but traumas, debt, right? Bad attitudes, right? It's just like, what can a man do with that? He can't do anything with that. That's nothing but chaos. And no man wants to deal with a woman with a chaotic mind. Nene say I make about 30K more than my man. That's all great and all, but he still has to provide in other aspects too. Like I said, he's still expected to do more. And you know what? We're gonna touch in on this, right? We're gonna touch on this because a part of you resent him for that. Otherwise, you wouldn't say that. A part of you resent him for that. You don't respect your man enough. Otherwise, that shouldn't even matter. You don't respect him. And, you know, usually what's common in a lot of cases like this, women, they'll temporarily be with men like this, and they would occasionally use them as placeholders. You would never admit it, but you're using him as a placeholder, man, until you have an opportunity to get a better man that could replace him. Because otherwise, that shouldn't even matter. Because regardless, he's still performing in other areas. But you don't look at that because, again, with a lot of women, it's all predicated on what a man could provide financially a lot of times too. Unfortunately, that's the cold hard truth. Female introvert, you said, to be honest, you're tired of the dating scene. I mean, a lot of people are. We're living in weird, bizarre times. We are living in very bizarre times, and you know, we're living in an age of social media, dating websites, TikTok, all of these other platforms. So what's happening is it's skewing a lot of this stuff. You know, most women, they swipe left most of the time. Men swipe right most of the time. And that tell a lot, right? Women swipe left most of the time just by looks. Just by looks. And men swipe right most of the time by looks. Because first and foremost, men are more reasonable. Men are more realistic. Right? But with women, nope. Y'all looking for that man that most other women would want. And then got an attitude with him. Because he's not wanting to conform to this idea you created in your head. I mean, seriously. Well, yeah, so Nene, yeah. I mean, again, in the grander scheme of things, yeah, because your value doesn't lie in how much money you make, right? It doesn't. You're not equal to a man. Okay, what you deem as valuable is different than what a man would deem as valuable. At the end, it's up to us to make that determination, not you. So, in other words, your youth, your fertility, your femininity, those are things that are valuable to a man, not how much money you make. In my friend group, I'm the only woman who disagrees with the "I don't need a man" rhetoric. Yeah, absolutely. B, and it's, you know, and I'm gonna say this, ladies. You know, it's good that more of you push back on this because other women need to see this. Because I kid you not, like the cis code has ruined and wrecked a lot of you. You know, and you know, single women keep women single. Single women keep women single. Misery loves company. We see it all too often. Many women would lie to other women. They would mislead them. Absolutely, Maureen, without a doubt. Absolutely. Crazy glue, I am black. Absolutely. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. Thanks for the thumbs up, y'all. Thank you. But yeah, so you know, it's hard out here, you know, and it's good that but yeah, I mean, the cis code has ruined it because, you know, the echo chamber, right? Telling other women what they think they want to hear. And a lot of it is, it's disruptive and it's destructive, right? It leads a lot of women down dangerous paths. I mean, no different than, you know, you have one woman keeping their super unattractive, overweight friend nearby or a supposed friend nearby because she knows that deep down inside it makes her look like a rock star. Women do little things like that. But the cis code, right? A lot of you are even nervous to even talk against the cis code, right? Going against other women, right? Going against other women because you're scared about what that could bring about, how the cis code could turn on you. Well, so Maureen, with how for starters, how old are you? Let's start off with that. How old are you? And then we can kind of go from there. But for men that want to procreate, that could be an issue. So you want to make sure that you're aligned like that. Well, Ava, I mean, if that's all you're attracting, you have to ask I mean, I don't know if this is what you're attracting, but if this is what you believe you've been attracting, you may want to take a step back and ask why you've been attracting these kind of caliber of men. Up, here we go. Who hurt you? It's always who hurt you. It's always one of the four. Always. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Spiritually humble said, I've been married to a wonderful, loving husband since August 2020. I'm blessed. Good for you, spiritually humble. Good for you. No, it's not. There's no reason to need a man. And that's the issue, right? That's the real issue. Feeling like you don't need a man. Of course you need men. Because without men, guess what? You die. You need men to protect you. And that's the thing. If Thanos just came and Thanos snapped and all the men disappeared, women will die. Because y'all think that things just will continue to just magically happen. Clean running water, the infrastructure, gas, electric. Y'all think things will just continue to happen. Y'all don't know that there are teams of men busting their ass, waking up in excruciating pain every day, going to work, blue collar jobs, things like that, right? Y'all don't know what's behind all of that. Y'all just think, oh, things are just happening, just in the ether, it's just happening. Y'all don't know the complexities that go behind a lot of that. So yeah, you need men. You will always need men in some form of fashion. You're going to always need men. Men bring about your safety and security and comforts. Believe it or not, but a lot of you would never dare admit that, especially those that have a hatred and contempt for men. Here's another. So Karkar, you said there's no need for that. Making more than your husband isn't an issue. It's your ego. Well, yeah, of course that, but a lot of women, it's been proven time and time again that women don't want a man that makes less than them. They want a man to make what they make or more. Women are hypergamous. Women don't want men that are less than them. They want a man at their level or higher, preferably higher. Preferably it's always higher. But they don't realize that a man that commands that at that highness, he's probably not going to want that because men typically, when a woman is up here and her pool of men are already small, right? Her pool of men are already small because she wants a man high on her socioeconomic level, and there's few men that could be up here, but the men that are up here, they ain't looking at her because she comes with a whole host of issues, right? They're looking at lower women that's not going to bring about the same conflicts and confrontation as that overly opinionated, egotistic, hypermasculine woman. And that's why, even female attorneys oftentimes deal with this, because they're in masculine roles, right? Maureen, you said you're 33. Okay, so I mean, I would, yeah, I don't know the circumstances, but yeah, that would be an issue. Men do care about those things, so that's just something for you to just think about. So, hey, Ian official, what's up? Welcome in, my friend. It's not how I take it, but yes, in the definition, y'all can. Let's see, y'all just be lying. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, Car. See, it burns you inside to realize and come to the harsh realization that men provide you with a whole host of comforts. Like I said, without men, you die. You need men to survive. Even if you, as independent as you think you are, you still need men. Men are the ones that are going to provide, when you have plumbing issues, when you have a roofing issue, whenever you have an electrical issue, you need that road paved, you need something fixed and repaired or built in, on, beside your home, whatever. There's always going to be a team of men that's going to show up. You need 911, you need paramedics, you need firefighters, police. Teams of men are going to show up. Teams of strong men are going to show up, not teams of women. Now, to be clear, there are women who occupy these fields, but it's overwhelmingly men. Now, women have the choice to occupy these fields, but when given the choice, women almost always opt for the cushy of the roles. HR, psychology, art, humanities, right? Communications. This is what the ladies opt for. You all could do it, but this is what you all overwhelmingly opt for. Men overwhelmingly opt for STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's what men typically opt for. That's what keeps this nation running. But many of you ladies, unfortunately, you're just so hell bent on just having this hate, just this misandrous hatred and contempt. Of course, not all. But those of you who are just so opinionated and just how men are just terrible. Many of you are the problem. And I must say the feminazi sequence is so fascinating. It is so fascinating. Because it tells you all that men are the most terrible thing, and you guys don't even have to look far to just see all of the luxuries that men have brought about to make your lives simple, easy, and safe. If men were as cruel and evil as many of you made play, you would all be in cages, okay? And y'all outnumber us by millions and millions in this country, but men can easily overpower you all and put you all in cages. But men have not done that. But you all just have such a hatred of men. Many of you have such a hatred of men. And here's another one right here. She said, black women date and marry men who make less than them all the time. Does it happen? Yeah, but it doesn't happen a lot. And black women in particular, only 1 in 4 black women would ever get married in their lifetime. And even at that rate, is steadily decreasing. You don't want me to start talking about race specifics, okay? Because if we start keying in on black women in particular, I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. Even though what I have to say is backed by facts, figures, data, statistics. I'm just not making it up, right? But instead of me going into it, I would just probably recommend you go to blackdemographics.com. Black statistics for black people, by black people. You might want to check that out. You might be surprised. And a lot of the data they pull from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Census, the National Institute of Health, the National Incident Studies, the U.S. Justice Department. So, yeah, you don't want to touch in on that because, I mean, starting off with that, I mean, black women alone outnumber black men by over 2 million. So you have other black and your non-black counterparts to worry about. Like I said, the rate at which black women are getting married is steadily decreasing. Many of you, unfortunately, this sucks, but many of you have made it where you've made yourselves less desirable. And it's unfortunate. And a lot of it has to do with this right here, the cis code. The infamous cis code. You all would adopt that more than anything. One black woman, she said it best. I've never heard a black woman say this before. She said a compliment from another black woman just hit different. She don't give a shit about what men think, but compliments from other black women just hit different. That's what she said. It meant more to her than anything else. Didn't get her far, but it just meant more to her than anything else because she was all into the cis code. But eventually realizing it didn't really do anything for her except for bringing her more misery. That's it. Just misery. Again, it just consists of chameleons, deception, lies, false praise, the echo chamber. A lot of just deception. You have a lot of deceptive women with, that saying misery loves company. That'll do it for you. That will do it for you. And I want to see sisters get married. I want to see more of that. I think, even if it's to non-black people, the issue is that men, especially the higher up they go socioeconomically, men tend to be more race loyal. So, yeah, you hear about other races of wealthy men, right? Because I know black women have this whole thing of getting with a wealthy man, but, you may hear about it occasionally, but it's exceptionally rare that you would have a man of another ethnicity marrying a black woman. It's rare. It happens, but it's very rare, right? Again, possibilities over probabilities, right? Is it possible to hit the lottery? Sure, right? You hear about people winning the lottery all the time, but the probabilities are 1 in 290 million. You really want to be behind those odds? And I guess you can focus on celebrities, Serena Williams or whatever, and put that at the forefront like it's happening in mass as a way to cope. But this is why paying attention, getting therapy is important, because that's not going to help you. It's just going to screw and skew your thought process. Black women are beautiful. I'm not saying that they're not. My lady, she's sleeping in there. She's a beautiful black lady. And the thing is, and statistically, black men are the second most desirable race of men in the world, and specifically here in the U.S., but in the world, we're ranked as the second most desirable race of men. So it's white men, black men, and then I forget what I think, Middle Eastern men. But black men rank number 2, and we're actually on the line to be the number 1 most desired men nationally. In the U.S., I think we may have outpaced white men as the most desirable in this nation, I think, statistically. I think we were. And it's just a lot of it is based on culture, entertainment, and a lot of other things. So a lot of women here in America, in Western culture, America, Canada, Europe, parts of Europe, a lot of the women overwhelmingly, they want a black man over anything else, because we're probably more exotic. We look like we're more adventurous. We look cool. We're more hip. We offer more sense, more style, right? So, a lot of that is attractive to a lot of women, especially women of other cultures, right? So, oh yeah, of course. We're always going to be engaging with opinions that's different than mine. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. 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 But yeah, black women are beautiful. I would like to see more black women married. I do. I think that, the ones who are genuinely, and unfortunately, a lot of them were not raised to be wives. They were raised to be independent, not interdependent. A lot of them were raised on this color purple, waiting to excel, how Stella got her groove back ideology. They were raised by their grandmas, their mamas, their aunties, their cousins. Dad kicked out of the house. And so they had this warped vision of a man and how to treat a man, how to respect and admire a man, how to appreciate a man. So they just don't know. So, they go into their adulthood and they're just lost, confused, and they're just out here finessing and hating men. That's all. Black men in particular, they're just finessing and hating them. That's it. I mean, we're saying I don't need no man. I can do all bad by myself. I don't need a man. I even had this discussion yesterday, right? A lot of other races of women, they go to school, they go to college, they go to university to find their husband, right? A lot of women, they graduate and they got a engagement ring on, right? Black women, they go to college, they go to university to prove that they don't need a man. That's a huge difference. I mean, when you have such an ideology and then you're screaming at the mountaintops of how you don't need a man and then wonder why black men shy away, it's like you you can't continually remind men that you don't need them, and they'd be like, "Oh, no black men are looking at me." It's like, yeah, you're steadily reminding us how you don't need us. And again, black lady sisters, y'all need, when you see your other black women doing this, you need to push back at them. Hey, sis, this ain't right. This ain't polite. Don't do this to our brothers. But we don't see that. Y'all be quick to protect each other, right? Sis code, right? Almighty sis code, right? Can't be torn for shit, right? That echo chamber is strong and vibrant, especially in the black community. But let it be the protection of a black man, right? Y'all would be 2 toes down, turning your nose away. A lot of times, black men can't even get a lot of y'all to even smile at us, let alone anything else. I smile at a black woman, she like, boo. I'm like, oh shit. It's like, wow. I mean, that's just the common response. Eyes rolling and stuff. That's quite the response. You don't really get that for any other race of women. That's just the realities we live here in Western culture. Angelique, the cis code is like this phenomenon where it's women with women giving false praise to each other when they know that it's a lie. It's women lying to other women. It's women being disruptive, sabotaging other women. It's a whole. It's deception. It's lies. It's false praise. It's the echo chamber. It's being a chameleon. That's all part of the cis code, right? Single women keep women single. That's all it is. That is all it is. And for those of you who are rocking with me, who are really understanding what I'm attempting to share, I appreciate it. But again, this content may not be for everybody, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm just here to have the conversation. It's interesting. It's fascinating, right? But not all of you are going to like it. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to disagree with it. That's fine. At the end of the day, once I turn this off, I go back to my life, right? Many of you have to contend with the realities of your life. Being upset, being bitter, jaded, right? I get to go in there and cuddle up with my lady at right the moment after I finish this live. And my lady, she thinks, for those of you who are rocking and everything, she loves and appreciates and admires y'all. For those of you who are just disgruntled and, argumentative and, confrontational and disagreeable, it's like, you have to find yourself. We can't do it for you. That's not my job to do it for you. I'm not here to help everybody, okay? I'm only people that are just wanting a different perspective. That's all. Listen, I'm just one guy, okay? But many of you can't say that you never heard this before, okay? You're hearing it from me, okay? So this should not come as a surprise. I was saying this before, not too long ago, just the man sharing his standards, his expectations, his boundaries. It was taboo for the longest, right? A man would be dragged through the mud if he were to dare share his standards, expectations, and boundaries. But now that we have an opportunity to, what do, right? What do we see? Oh, he gay. Oh, he hate women. Who hurt you? Yo mama a woman. They all say one of the 4 things, right? But then they really harp on, oh, he gay, he bi, he has DL tendencies. All because of a simple disagreement, right? I mean, this is what men have to deal with, right? And that's why, you know, a lot of these dating coaches, these BS, they listen, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a dating guru. I'm not a consultant. I'm not an image consultant. I'm not a dating, I'm not nothing. I'm just here to have the conversation. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not here to have the conversation. I will give you, advice just so that you can hear a different perspective, but you can take it with a grain of salt, right? You can piece out what makes the most sense to you, what don't. You can have a disagree with it. That's fine. Have a disagreement with it. It's totally fine. It's well within your right to. You're free, right? But the reality is, many of you haven't, whenever this tough, critical conversation comes forward, a lot of you just freak out and leave, and it's just like, because it's not in the realm of your comforts, it's like, well, which of you wants results, right? That's the main thing. Who wants results? Because that's what it boils down to at the end, is results. No, it's not all women. Car. I think you have a misconception of what I'm saying. You can't quantify all, because everyone is a special little snowflake. You can't quantify all. But I could speak in generalities. That's what statistic is generalities, right? I could speak on generalities. That's perfectly fine and well within my right. But there's no way for me to say all. Not all, right? But generally speaking, there is an issue. Generally speaking, this is what we're seeing in modern culture, in Western culture, with a lot of ladies. We're not going to shift the conversation, right? I know many of you, well, what about this? What about that? That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about the men and what the men do. We're not talking about, rescuing whales and baboons and all. We're not doing none of that. This is what the topic is. Hey, thanks for the follow. I mean, many of you are quick to change the goalpost shift because the conversation is uncomfortable. Again, you don't have to be here. This is just only for folks who want to have the tough conversation. That's all. Again, it's not meant for everybody. It is not meant for everybody. For those of you that are here, again, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in agreement with this, okay? Men have always pretty much remained the same, right? We kind of have to. Men have almost always remained the same. Women have changed drastically over the years. Thank you for sharing that. Car, and I can see that you aren't doing it to be mean either, just simply uneducated. So just because I'm speaking of things that may bring about a little bit of uncomfort to you, you think that that means that I'm uneducated? Is there anything that I said in particular you wish to touch on? I would love to dissect it. We could touch on it. Share what it is you believe I'm uneducated with. I hate this app as long as they stay together and he leaves worthy woman alone. Well, the thing is, I hate this app. The thing is, I'm looking at your profile picture right now just to get a better idea. I mean, many of you think that you're worthy, but you're not, and that's part of the problem. You're not worthy of anything. And one main reason, because many of you just have bad attitudes. Some of you're average. Some of them could be cute, right? Average, maybe cute, but worthy of what exactly? Worthy of just extracting a random man's asset? What exactly do you think that you're worthy of? That's what I don't understand. I'm worthy. Worthy of what exactly? Because at the end, men get to determine men determines if you're worthy, not you. You don't determine that. You don't determine if you're worthy. Men do. After all, men would kneel on his knee and offer his hand in marriage. Hey, blessings from Jamaica. How's it going? Welcome in, my friend. What is up? Bit2 TV. What's up? Hello, my friend. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Welcome in, my friend. Thank you so very much for joining in on the live. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, men determine that. We are talking about this, right? Because much of the stuff that I'm discussing is tied to the whole cis code phenomenon. And we've touched on this, right? We're touching on this. But I'm also addressing the critics. I'm addressing the folks who believe that I'm uneducated, right? I'm addressing the folks who believe that I have this deep-rooted misandrous thought process of women. None of that. So we're touching on everything as best as we can. I'm a one-man kung fu SWAT team over here, so I can only do my best when responding to things. No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is you could be cute or you could be whatever, right? You could be average, you could be cute or whatever. But, and I'm gonna say this again, your attitude plays a big role. Remember, I hate this app. Men are simple. Men are simple. It's easy to please a man. So what I'm saying is you could be average, you could be cute, average, whatever, and still get a great man. That's all I'm saying. But your attitude has to be appropriate. If you have a bad attitude, and if you're difficult to deal with, men are not going to want to deal with you. I mean, I don't know how else I can put it. I mean, men are just not going to want to deal with you. Like I said, I'm looking at your picture. I mean, if you're average, if you're cute, that's fine. But you just have to have a decent enough personality to go along with that for a man. And like I said, it's up to, this whole notion of being worthy, men make that determination, not you. Men kneel on their knee to propose their hand and offer their hand of marriage, not you. Men control relationships and marriage, not you. No, it's not really a thing of insult over pay. What I'm saying is a man just doesn't care how much you're paid. That doesn't mean anything to a man. It just don't. I don't know how else I can put it. It don't mean anything to a man. Hey, Bit2TV, thanks for the follow, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Has the cis code ruined it for women? Ruined their opportunities of being in a decent, meaningful relationship, marriage? Has it ruined it for women? What do you think? Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all for joining me right now. Thank you so much. Y'all be sure to hit me with some likes, hit me with some follows. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me. Like I said, y'all, even though this conversation might be a little uncomfortable for some, hopefully not for many of you, be sure to hit that follow, that sub. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated as usual. Well, it has. So here's the thing, right? I hate this app. Here's the thing. Reestablish authority. What do you mean? Okay, let me break it down for you again. Okay, I don't know if you just came in, but I'll go over it again. Okay, there is no reestablishing of authority, right? Women outnumber men by millions in the United States, by millions. Okay, y'all outnumber men by millions, and you as a black woman, you outnumber black men. Black women, you outnumber black men by over 2 million in this country. However, men maintain this vast, critical, complex infrastructure, not women. Okay, if men really wanted to, okay, we could easily overpower y'all, and y'all would be in cages. Men are not as evil as you think. Okay, all of the comforts that you come to enjoy, you're able to dye your hair red and wear earrings and makeup and all of this stuff and shout and praise how you hate men. Men provided that comfort for you to do these things. Okay. Otherwise, if we were as evil as you think, you would be in a cage right now. Okay. all of these comforts you come to enjoy: clean drinking water, you can, warm, hot bath, shower water, a roof over your head, plumbing, paved roads, laid brick, skyscrapers, bridges. Men overwhelmingly did those jobs. Men have to dive into the harsh, complex elements of society to bring that about for women like you that don't understand what men do and what men have done to sacrifice. That's all. So you're acting like, I mean, men have to, like, especially for women like you, men have to save you from yourself. Oh my God, this is triggering behavior I only experience twice a year. Well, I mean, you could label it whatever you want. I mean, if you have a disagreement with it, that's perfectly fine. That's well and with your right. You don't have to agree with it. It doesn't make it any less true, right? You could be all proud. You could be all and like I said, folks, I mean, this is all part of the radical feminist ideology. This is all part of the radical, and this is what's destroying women like her. This woman, her opinion means more to her than, you know, respecting a man, being with a man, keeping a man, right? She has a whole host of problems, right? She has a label. She calls a man every label in the book, right? Because for her, in her Disney fairy tale of a life, is supposed to be unicorns and rainbows and fairy tales and butterflies and all of this other stuff. Far from reality. Very, very far from reality. So the cis code consists of deceptions, lies, false praise, the echo chamber, chameleons. That's what the cis code consists of. So when you have, you know, groups, hordes of women, right, and many of them have adopted this cis code ideology, and basically it's, prioritize the cis code. Don't care about what men think. Prioritize the cis code. We don't care about what men think, how men feel, how men behave, whatever. We don't care about none of that. We just prioritize the cis code, right? The cis code tells us we are big, beautiful queens. The cis code tell us that one day this unicorn man is going to fall into our lap, that was sculpted by Zeus himself. He's going to be anything and everything that I could have ever asked for. It's like a Frankenstein man. I pulled only the best parts from every man I've encountered, I've seen on TV, I've seen on social media. And this unicorn Frankenstein man, who was, again, sculpted by Zeus Almighty himself with his thunder and lightning, right? He's going to just come down from the heavens and be anything and everything I could ever ask for. He's going to just swoop me off my feet. Right? The cis code will tell women to lie. I mean, that's why that's why a lot of these women who prioritize this, what else do they prioritize? Bullshit and nonsense like zodiac astrology sign. What's your sign? Right? Shit that's not based off of nothing. What's your sign? It's not based off of anything. Right? Because you could tie anything to anyone. But they'll believe that shit. And that's part of the many issues. They'll believe that, but they can't get in line and get into some sort of agreement for a man. I just don't get that. All right, let me do some catching up, y'all. Hang on. Let me read some comments. Hang on. Let me scroll back up. Hang on. Kinder boy, Walkman, Kinder boy. Long time no see. All right. All right, Karkar said, if y'all don't see how this ideology is harmful, you depend on men too much than your own thinking. Karkar, what do you mean? Everything around you is built and maintained by men. What are you talking about? This isn't a women-centric culture and society. Men built everything. What are you talking about? Or I tell you what, go build your own civilization, right? Go do it in Russia because Russia has the most unoccupied land. You go start your own women, civilization, right? You could go do that because in Western culture, men overwhelmingly have to maintain this vast and complex infrastructure. It's not women. Car, it's not teamwork. It's not teamwork. No matter how it's sliced, you're not the same as a man. It'll never be equal because there's always going to be more that's expected of men, and that's part of the reason why men die a lot sooner than a lot of you, right? Men die sooner. Why? Because we take on a harsh, complex work to maintain this vast infrastructure. We have to expose ourselves to toxins and to harmful conditions. That's why men always are in pain much of the time. The only pain that y'all complain about is labor. Men going to work every day in excruciating pain because a lot of times we have to take on a lot of these harsh, complex things, and a lot of times many of you won't even hear about it. Men will just shut up and go to work, and they'll be in immense pain. Leg hurt, back hurt, dick hurt, everything hurt. Right? So all the while he's in pain, he still has to please you. He has to tend to the family. He has to do all of this, right? And I think oftentimes women lose sight of what men do. Let's see. It's a poorly constructed society. I mean, we're in Western culture. You're in the United States. In my opinion, you're in the best society in the world, the best and most protected society in the world by men. And car, I mean, if you're steadily running to this, I mean, I don't know if this is the case for you, car, but if you're steadily having this problem with these certain kinds and caliber of man that you envision are like low class or worthless or useless, what I want to ask you is, why do you keep attracting these type of men? Because most men are decent, honest, hardworking. They just want to care for you, protect you. But if you're steadily like, I don't know if this is the case, but my whole thing is, if you're steadily attracting this like certain type of man, why? Right? Why? That's a fair question, right? And I'm not meaning that as a disrespect, like he's not confident. Well, it has nothing to do with me being confident or not. I'm just, like I said, we're just all having a conversation. I mean, I don't have to be like, oh, well, it's just, we're just all having a conversation. It's all good. Yeah. We're just all having a conversation. And for the record, y'all, I appreciate even the naysayers, the ones, the critics, the detractors, whatever. Listen, I'm still, for those of you who made it this far, thank you for being here. Thank you for just having a conversation. Thank you for having a conversation. For many of you, it was hard, right? It was hard for you to have the conversation. And so, I hate this ad. Moments ago, you were just talking about how terrible of a person I am, and now you're reverting to baseless ad hominem attacks. So when you don't have a viable response, a viable rebuttal, you revert to ad hominem attacks. Is this what you do? Is that all you have? Because I have a receding hairline? Have you looked in the mirror at yourself? You want to talk about receding hairlines? You don't even really have hair. You're a woman. You don't even really have hair. And you're talking about me? Y'all just walk, and this is a perfect example. You have women like this, they walk around like they shit don't stink, right? And it's just like, a lot of that is, it's like, come on now. And, humble yourself, lady. That's all you got to do is just humble yourself. And that's probably why women like you, it's always going to be difficult for you to come into an agreement with a man, because you're difficult to deal with. You're confrontational, you're argumentative, you're disruptive, you're destructive, you're combative, you're disagreeable, you're bitter, you're jaded. You're all of that. The only thing what's left for you to do is revert to baseless ad hominem attacks and sign language, shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. That's all you have. No, it's not by choice, right? You see this a lot with a lot of ladies. They say, oh, it's by choice, right? Oh, it's by choice. Is it really by choice? Is it really by choice? I don't think so. Just like it's not by choice that you're more than likely single. It's not by choice. You have no choice except to be single. It's just like that hair that you couldn't keep up. It's not by choice. You didn't have a choice except to cut your hair off, because your hair was probably matted or something like that, or you probably had bald spots or something. So the best way to cover it up was to probably cut your hair. I mean, we could go there if you want to go there. Probably just like the stereotypical chick, right? Stereotypical sister wearing wigs and shit like that with glue. What happens? Rip out your hair and all this other shit. Messed up your head. Only thing to do, cut your hair off. But I guess it would also make weight. God damn, yeah, you got a messed up hairline. God damn, I didn't know it was that bad. Shit, I thought my hairline was bad. You got some nerve. You a lady, you got some nerve. Your shit is back here. If you were in the military, you have to go like this. Yes, sir. All the way back. God damn. Shit. All right. Zero humility, my friend. Zero humility. Accountability is like a vampire in garlic to a lot of these women. Self-awareness is non-existent. Accountability, I swear, it's like a vampire in garlic. They would avoid that shit at all costs. They would avoid that shit like the plague. A lot of these women, they would, and it's in order for there to be real progress, there has to be accountability. There has to be self-awareness. There has to be. I don't know about taking laundry to the laundry room. I don't know about that. But I don't know if you're speaking from a scenario or a situation you've probably experienced that seemed very specific and niche. The only thing I can really say to that is if you're with a protector, provider man, and he's not asking a lot of you, you're just sitting at home, and the least he can ask for is you just doing his laundry for him. I mean, the least you could do, cars, make sure his clothes is nice, neatly pressed, folded, right? Have some warm food. I mean, especially if you're just sitting around the house, because here's the thing. Most men cannot provide a single income, provide for with a single income. Most households have to operate off of 2 or more incomes because it's just so damn expensive out here. And that's the thing, like when you're married, car, you have duty. I don't really know about this teamwork thing, but you have duty, okay? I mean, whatever you want to call it to make it make sense to you, but you have duty. You have duty to your husband and to God, right? Two hearts, one body. If you're asking me that, no, I am not. Oh, Leah, you're funny. Is that what I really look like, Leah? I look like he look easy and easy to hurt, do I? I look easy and easy to hurt. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all hear that? Leah think I'm a soft guy. I appreciate that, Leah. Well, you know, a lot of the ladies here, they claim they want a soft guy, so I guess that works out, right? Unfortunately for you, Leah, I've been too harsh and critical on them. I've been called the misandrist. I've been called everything in the book, so you probably won't get too much of that from me here. You ain't getting none of that from me in here. Y'all ready to go to the next topic? Let's go to the next topic here. Hang on just a moment. Let me see what other topics I got here, y'all. We're about to get back into it. Hang on. All right, here we go. New topic, y'all. What's an appropriate first date? Oof. So many of you ladies expect a man to wine and dine you on a first date, right? Many of you expect a man to wine and dine you on the first date, right? What do you think about that, ladies? Do you think that it's appropriate for a man to take you out on a lavish first date? Coffee date, absolutely. Best comment so far, coffee date, absolutely. Because you got to get to know the guy, right? And similarly, he has to get to know you. The issue is a lot of these ladies, right? What happens is they want to go out on a lavish first date, right? What do? They engage in sneating, right? Many of you haven't even heard of that word. It's called sneating or sneak eating. Another term for it is a foodie call. So I didn't notice a whopping 1 in 4 women engage in foodie calls. 1 in 4. So a foodie call is basically women would pretend to like men on social media, on dating ads, convince, coerce the man to take them out on a date, pretend to like them throughout the date, perhaps several dates, just to get free meals. Just to get free meals, especially at lavish restaurants, whatever, rack of bills, go drinking. Just, just to get free meals, free drinks. Leave the man high and dry after that. And for them, it's perfectly well and with. And for them, they think nothing is wrong with it. They think they're old for merely existing. Well, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. He's a man. He's quote unquote courting me. They always say that he's courting me, right? They use that to excuse or to justify using men, to finessing men, to suckering men. Right? And that's why, it's good for men, when they're first meeting a woman, coffee date, I'll take you to get ice cream, a smoothie, right? You don't drink coffee, we get ice cream, we get a smoothie, right? We get any of that, but I'm not taking you on a lavish first date. Absolutely not. In many cultures, each party pay for themselves, right? And so one man, he said it best himself. I forgot what it was, but he said it himself. He was like, you can always tell because the woman would almost always pack a to go. She would always get a box to go. That's usually, especially on the first date, that's usually a tall tale sign that she's a foodie call. She's using a man to get free food when she get that to go box. So men, what they do is, even before she asks for the box, he'll tell them to clear the table. Nope, you're not taking the food. Clear the table. You want me to pay for that? Clear the table. You're not taking any food home. Yeah, they just want to eat. That's all. And in the process, they're just using men. And it's unfortunate because, we know that at the end of all of that, she'll be like, after she, wipes her face. Oh, yeah, I like you, but not that much. Maybe as a friend, I think you would be great in the friend zone. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh, I think you would just be a great friend. And yeah, let me still keep you in my friend zone so that I could extract resources from you and use you as if we were in a relationship, except without the benefits of relationship, at least on your end. But for me, I should still be able to get your protection, your resources, but as a friend. They want all of that, right? And that's what I said before, right? A lot of these women who meet these men are great. They would make for great boyfriends or whatever, but these women, they don't want the nice guys. They don't want the nice guy. They want the bad boys. So, some men that would probably be great men for them are in their friend zone and they don't realize it. Right? Okay. Let's see. What am I missing? You guys are having your own situations going on here. What's up? What are we talking about here? Let's see. Yeah. So, Riri. So that could be, an option. But even that, you don't really know if you're gonna like someone, and like a coffee date or something like that. I think that would be appropriate. Like a coffee date, again, getting ice cream, getting a smoothie this way. You're not overdoing it. There's no. But I think that's a great idea. Roller skating is good too, as long as it's not overboard. Not all women expect that. I didn't say all. Not all. Not all. Not all. And again, folks, you cannot quantify all because again, everyone is a special little snowflake. So this is not for all. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying generally. Generalities are perfectly fine. Okay. That this is how we're quantifying things in generalities. Recent date, top golf. He paid for golf and I paid for food and drinks. That's great. I'm glad that you paid. I'm glad that you paid. And it's good to see women paying for dates because you should be just as vested in him as he is in you. Because in the end, you're hoping for marriage, right? You're hoping that you can extract resources from him. You're looking for his provision, his protection, his security, his resources, his stability. That's what you're hoping for. And if anything, realistically, you should be covering 100% of the date because you're going to be getting more from him. So, in actuality, it's great that you covered part of the date, but realistically, you should have been covering full of it because you're more invested in the date than he probably is because there's more at stake for him than it is for you. And you get more from him than he does from you. But I'm all for women paying half the date. That's great. That there are women like you do shit VD, right? Or is that DOS shit VD? I don't know. But whatever. Let's see. So yep, my friend there first date about okay. Facts, I'd rather give them the ick to see if she's really attracted. Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I mean, years ago when I remember I went on a date and I I encountered this woman on a dating app. For starters, she was telling me that it was difficult for her to find a tall man, right? She said, because most tall men I encounter, they're always taking and all of that. She was like 6'2". I'm like 6'3", right? So she was 6'2", so she was like, super, like, oh my God, like, oh no, she was like 6'1" or something like that. So she was already saying that it was hard for her to find a man. So I'm like, all right, cool. I don't mind meeting you, right? So before we even met, I was like, well, let's grab a cup of coffee or something, just we can sit down and talk. And she was all like, oh no, I expect to be wined and dined. That's what she said to me. She said, I expect to be wined and dined. This is your chance to show me blah, blah, blah. And I was all like, man, with all due respect, this is not going to work because I do not take women out on lavish first dates because you don't just get to extract resources from me like that because I don't then get to just be like, if you don't like me, like, oh, well, by the way, the money that I use for your date, can you write me a check for that? Oh, and reimburse me for my time because my time is valuable, okay? I'm a hardworking man. And if I have to take time out of work doing that shit to meet you and then you come to those conclusions, that's fine. It's well within your right. I don't get to then be reimbursed for any of that. And men have to start looking at it like that, or should start looking at it like that. Because it's like, especially when you're single, men going on date after date after date trying to find a half decent woman, that could be expensive for a man. Women, they don't care. They're just extracting resources. Yay, extracting resources, right? That's all they're doing. Just extracting resources. Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. First dates are always good to get to know each other. Just see if there's anything. Second, third date, you might want to take them out. That's fine. But here's the key, right? Here's the key. You don't want to take a woman out on a lavish first date and make her believe that you expect something major in return, right? Like, you trying to rock her cheeks, right? So you ain't trying to make play of that. So you want to be respectful, fellas, right? We don't want a woman to think like that, like, oh, he must want something in return. So that's why it's proper to do a coffee date, right? Do an ice cream date. This way there's no unrealistic expectations or no other expectations, right? It's like, you want this lobster? Well, I'm going to give you this lobster. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, Robin. This is, let's say, KY, where I'm from. Poor doesn't mean it don't work. Car generalities help identify and address the overreaching issues. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Women have an issue with generalities because everything ties into their BS a lot of times. And that's just the realities. Again, men are all more facts, figures, data, statistics. Men are more for the objective truth. Women are often for their truth. That's why you hear women a lot of times saying, oh, it's my truth. Oh, it's my truth. You hear women say this too a lot. Oh, my person is going to find me. My man, my person. I'm waiting for my person. My person. You'll hear them say that a lot. My person. Why you say, oh, my person hasn't found me yet, my person? Because they're still on this magical manifestation trope, right? And it's all well within their right to magically manifest, right? That on top of zodiac signs and all that. Oh, whatever. But men can't operate like that, because if we do, we die. Men can't operate like that. Men have to be more practical, right? There was a funny video that this couple released. It was a funny couple. They make funny like videos, and they were showing them walking through the airport. And so her husband, he was looking at everybody, and he was like constantly gauging everything and seeing threat levels, and he wanted you to hear his thoughts. So he's like, that guy's about 3 feet away from me. Can I take him? Yeah, I can take him. That person right there, they look like they got a gun, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that person right there, they look kind of suspicious, blah, blah, blah. She probably should stay walking behind me. And then in her mind, they switched to her, and she's walking through the airport like, making my way down south, walking fast, and I'm homebound. It's just that, men and women are different, right? And I get that. But ladies, you want to make sure that you respect men, because men have a huge burden on protecting you, right? We do. On top of protecting society and maintaining society. And again, ladies, men die a lot sooner, right? My life expectancy is a lot less than the average woman, okay? And especially me as a black man, right? I'll be lucky if I see another 10 years, right? If it ain't cancer that killed me, it'll be something else. And it's unfortunate. I'm black, right? I'm a black man. Ladies, many of you are going to live into your roaring 70s, 80s, 90s. Men don't have time to waste. That's why we have to be serious with a lot of this stuff, right? Nene, for as long as you're attracting men that respect you, again, most men don't mean you no harm. Most men just want to have decent women who's going to respect them and give them peace. Men don't mean you no harm. Men have built everything around you to protect you. Like, men don't mean you no harm. But if you're steadily attracting these mean, crazy, vicious men, why are you attracting these men? Because, clearly, if that's the case, you're probably attracted to that toxicity. You are what you attract. So if you're toxic, you're attracting toxic. Yeah, and somewhere in public is always first. You can meet by, like, even when I met my lady for the first time, right? We met by the water, right? We met near an estuary. It was, a decent amount of people out, public area, daylight. kind of like in the middle of the day, I met her, right? We liked each other. We started walking. I'm just like, hey, and I just remind her, hey, I don't have any unrealistic expectations. I'm just here to meet. You can relax. I offered her a cup of coffee. She was like, yeah, that actually sounds nice. Let's get a cup of coffee. We walked over and get a cup of coffee, and we were just talking and joking. And I was like, oh, you enjoy people watching, and we were, just people watching and talking, and we talked a little bit about movies and the news and all of that. We talked a little politics. We talked a little about like just what's going on in government and all that. And after that, we were like, when we meeting again. And I think we actually met the next day. And then after that, the rest was history, right? Okay, let me do some catching up, y'all. Y'all having like your own little side combos in here. Yeah, she's about to be on this year or so. Okay. 25, 29, whatever she's cooking. My parents married 30 years, happy and lived to. Damn. Wow, that is amazing, Robin. Wow. Yeah, Nene. Yeah, men are good. Most men are good. Like 99.9% of men are good. But you're going to always get those men, few and far between that are not going to be good. But most men don't mean you no harm. Again, men have built, curated, and created this vast society to protect women like you. Again, everything was built and created for your protection. Again, you could just pick up the phone, dial 911, and then there'll be a team of men to come and rescue you. Almost anything you need. Oh, you're in a burning building, you need medical attention, right? You need safety, right? You just seen the movie The Nun and you're scared. You're like, oh my God, the nun is after me. I seen the nun. She's killing people. Oh my God, call the police. Armed police will show up, right? Oh my God, the Jeepers Creepers monster is following me. Oh my God, Team of heavily armed men will come and protect you and save you. Yeah, I mean, walking in the park, like I said, that's where I met my lady at. We met at like a little park setting. It was relatively populated. It wasn't hugely populated, but there were people around. There were like little shops and boutiques nearby. It made for a great starting point. We met near the water. We stood near the water. We talked for a little bit. We went for a little walk. Like I said, the rest was history after that. The rest was history. So Carcar, it's not really a thing of the bad gets mixed with the good. I think what happens in this situation is too much emphasis is put on the bad, right? And the bad guys are often put at the forefront as if it's happening in mass. It's not happening in mass, but whatever traumas, Nene or whomever perhaps you have experienced, what happens is you place this at the forefront. It's like, this happened to me, therefore all men are like this, or the majority of men are like this, or whatever. When in reality, that's just not the case. Men like me, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't need to hit you. I don't need to attack you, nothing like that. I just won't deal with you. I have that luxury. I just won't deal with you, right? You bring me misery, I don't have to deal with you. I don't need to do none of that. And it could just be a thing because I have more options than the average man, right? But I don't have to deal with you. I'm just like, all right, good luck, bye, Godspeed. Don't care. I'm moving on with my life, right? I do really well for myself socioeconomically. I own my own home, right? I own homes elsewhere. I do really well for myself. So, all right. Like I said, I don't have time to waste. I'm not going to be on this planet very long. I am a black man. I'm a 38-year-old black man. I don't have time to waste. like I said, I'll be lucky to get an extra 10 years on this planet. If it ain't cancer that's gonna kill me, it's probably gonna be a heart attack, a stroke, something. All of this ultra processed food we eat, blah blah blah. That's another story. Women, you all are gonna overwhelmingly outlive men, just biologically, because men, we expose ourselves to more dangerous, harmful elements. You know, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Like me, I served in the military for several years. I've been involved with blue collar work, white collar work. Fast food in the park, nothing touchy and money saved, no pressure. Exactly, hemp thin boy. There you go. Like I said, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with just an ice cream or a smoothie. You want a Starbucks shaker? Okay, you don't drink coffee? Yeah, let's get you a Starbucks shaker. Let's get you a frap. Whatever, right? But you don't need to go and spend several $100s on a first date. That's bullshit. Absolutely not. I ain't got shit to prove to you. All I'm just like, hey, I'm just trying to meet you. Because guess what? I have standards, I have expectations, I have boundaries. And if you can't do something as simple as meet me for a cup of coffee or whatever, or something light, just so that I can get a feel of who you are in person, I don't want nothing to do with you. It's like, all right, good luck. Because there's way more of you than there are of me. I know where I stand. But a lot of you ladies, unfortunately, you just operate with magical manifestation. Speaking of which, we're going to pull up this, let me see. This just made me think of something. Hang on real quick. This just made me think of something. So, this calculator, they pulled data from, I think, the Bureau of Labor Statistics and a few other, let me see. Yeah, they pull the stats from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and a few other entities, and they give women an idea. Oh no, they pulled it from two sources. Okay, so they pulled it from the Annual Social and Economic Supplement, ASEC, of the Current Population Survey, CPS, and the Census Bureau, right? So they just extrapolate basic data, right? And they just give women an idea of the type of man that they're looking for, right? So, ladies, we're going to start off. So, for those of you who are ready, get a pencil and paper or get ready to write it down. There's going to be, we could take turns doing it. Like me and you could take turns doing it. There's going to be 4 questions, okay? Question 1 is what age range of men you want. So, his age range, his race, the minimum height, and his minimum income. 4 questions, ladies, okay? So, whoever wants to go first, let me know. We'll go first. And then, yeah, I'm 38. Is that okay? Fruity baby, is that okay? So who wants to go first? And here, let me flip this around so that everyone can see real quick. Who wants to go first? So again, ladies, age, race, minimum height, minimum income. One more time, age, race, minimum height, minimum income. All right, who wants to go first? I'll flip the screen and then we can start it off here, okay? So this is what it looks like. So we're gonna start off with A. Who wants to start first? Okay, so all right, who wants to start off first? So so if you're looking for a man, what's his minimum age and what's his maximum age? So 60 plus K income. Okay, so we're gonna go here and do 60K income. Okay, so we're doing 60 income. All right, so minimum income 60. What about his height? What do you want for his height? Well, I mean, you could feel like all you want, but these are the key things that women typically opt for when they are questioning about men. Okay, so 5'6". Wow, really? Wow, generally you don't see women who want men who are 5'6". That's crazy. Okay, so what about race? What about his race? Oh, you're short? Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So what about the man's race? What do you want? Well, for a lot of women, it's not about connection. It's everything is so transactional. And what about age range? I wish I was wrong, Christy Daughtery. I wish I was wrong, but I'm not, unfortunately. 50 to 65. All right, so we'll do, let's see, we'll do 65. Whoops, 65. And thanks for being a good sport and participating in this. I appreciate it. So we'll do 50 to 65. And whoever wants to go next, let me know. I'll have you go next. So we'll do 50. And then basically this will give you a statistical rate on the men that you want, okay? Based on these basic criteria. And then we're going to click find out. And then let's see. So these are your probabilities here, right? So your probabilities are actually really good. So you have a good probability, generally. So your delusion score, you get 2 cat bags, cat litter bags, which is good. I mean, this is good. You have a good probability, right? Because again, any marital status, you picked any race, you were at least 5'6", any weight, right? And then earnings, okay. Who wants to go next? Motivation, yeah. When a woman sees a man that most other women would want, all of that other bullshit goes out the door. Women will almost always break their rules for a man that most other women would want. A man that's hot. So who's next? Who wants to do it next? So again, we're gonna just need your age, what age range, what type of man do you want? Who wants to go next? So age, race, many of you just seen how this works. So what's the age? Who's next? No more than 40 years older, any race at least. Okay. 5'8". Older than what? How old are you, Nene? What's your I don't know, 34. Okay, so okay, you're 34, so I'll go 34. Whoops, 34. Okay, let me fill all this stuff in. Whoops, what the hell? Went to 35. Okay, 34. And then you said no more than 10 years older, so I'll do 44, right? So 44, okay. All right, and then you said any race. Okay, so we got that figured out. Okay, and then minimum height would be 5'8". Okay, so 5'8" would be your minimum height, and then 45K minimum salary. I think that you're capping on that. I don't believe you, but we'll go with that. So we'll say 45K. I mean, unless you're in like Tennessee or Mississippi or something, then that would make a little more sense. But I think you're capping on that, but we'll see. So this is your probability of finding this man. And that's just with this criteria. So even with you still get 2 cat litter bags, okay? But your probability is 41.8%. All right, who else want to go? I'll do one more, ladies. Who wants to do the last one? Do a hard reset of this, and then we'll do one last one. Let's see here. 0 cat bags is good. you want to have 0 because basically the cat bags implies you're going to be basically like a cat shepherd, you know, a complete cat shepherd. Basically, it's just a delusional calculator, you know, female delusion calculator. So the more cat bags you got, yeah, exactly, yeah, cat lady, exactly. So the more cat bags you have, the more prone you are to being a cat lady, a crazy cat lady, yeah. Well, Riri, you could have all of the standards you want, but what's reality, right? So if all of you are saying that you're 10, if most of you are below average and average and you want this exceptional above average man, you don't think that that's delusional? So you could have all the standards you want. That's like, because if I turned around and said, I will accept no woman unless she looks like Halle Berry, you all would call me delusional. So you know what delusional means. What's up, Zara Ben? How's it going? Zara Ben, 39. I'm doing well. How are you? Welcome in. Thanks for joining me on the Purple Durple Apple. I appreciate you. How you doing? Be sure to follow me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Thank you. How you doing? Yeah, we're just doing like this delusional calculator thing right here. Whoops, I can't see it, but it's on my computer. Glad to hear you. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hell yeah. All right, let's see. All right, so I guess you all are done with the calculator. That's fine, whatever. Whatever, I was going to do one more, but since y'all done with the calculator, that's fine. I'll flip this back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see. What did I miss? Well, Riri, again, you could have standards, but you want to make sure those standards are aligned with what you qualify for and what's practical, right? Probability over possibility, right? But I think a lot of women, you all, confuse, many of you confuse standards with just being delusional. And that's the thing. Or you use these standards as a way of coping and as a way of justifying being chronically single. It's like, oh, I'm single because I have standards. It's like, no, you're single because the kind of caliber of man you want don't want you. Or here's a better one, right? The kind of caliber of man you want who has to meet those strict standards can probably meet the standards of a lot of other women. He's probably not going to want you. Probably not, especially when you come with a whole host of nonsense. That's usually what it boils down to at the end. I try to, Zara Ben 39. Things have been getting a little more hot and fun, so I think I'm going to start doing it a little bit more. I don't know how things are looking on your end. I hope that the quality is relatively good. I'm doing everything on my laptop. I got this old laptop. Man, it is like burning up right now. It's like hot because I'm running and I'm streaming. But man, I'm hoping that it's looking decent. But yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. But yep. But yeah, I hope you're liking the live and everything, man. I'm just trying to, but I'm on like several places. I'm on like 5 or 6 different places right now. So it's a lot going on. I think I'm on like 6. So yep. Riri, not today. I may let people on tomorrow. But it's going to be hard for some people because when I bring people up, I'm not the one that's just going to allow for someone that I bring up to take over the stream, the live, and all of that. I don't do that. I have to manage the live and all of that. So when people start going off the rails and changing the goalposts, I may have to stop them and mute them. So I'm trying to figure that out, how I'm going to do that. I don't want to just go into it and be overly like, hey, stop, because it'll be a bit weird. Oh, you're from Virginia. That's what's up. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast and the East Coast. So sometimes I'm in New York. Sometimes I'm in Cali. Oh, and sometimes I'm in Europe too, because I'd be out there quite a bit as well. So This looks quite interesting. I followed you. I'm always looking for. Hell yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the support. How old are you? Yeah, for sure, dude. Okay, listen, Zara Ben 39. Okay, check this out. Look, I just bought a podcast mic, a good one, right? So I'm really excited for it. I mean, you 23. That's what's up. Well, welcome in, my friend. Welcome in, dude. I was just in Virginia. I was in what is it, Charlottesville. I had to go to the university out there for something, for like this conference thing. But yeah, I was out there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting driving through Virginia. Yeah, it felt like a movie. But, because I'm from large, densely populated metropolitan areas, driving through Virginia like that was quite the shock. I was like, what the hell? Like, it was really interesting. Like, just the terrain, the way the homes look, just it was different, a lot different. But I did appreciate it. It was quite the experience, that's for sure. I wanted to do it, but not sure if I can go live. You should be able to go live, Love and Happy. You should be able to. You look like you have enough followers to. You can go live. I don't see why not. Thanks for the likes, my friend. Thank you so much. Man, bro, been in here supporting me the whole time, man. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Uh, QWERTY Upa. Yeah, I can't read that. 4482. It's hard to see. Um, Always thought this live limit was 1,000. No. The live limit is like you could have millions of people in if you wanted. Bricky 15. Best first date is chilling outside. If it's cold, you gotta pay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Zara Ben 39. I do. So sometimes I play MK1 if I have time. I work a lot, so if I do see, here's the thing: I'm not like a hardened gamer. So if I do game, it'll literally be for like no more than 15 minutes, and then I get bored from it easily because I'm always working and shit. So like I'm always like in Excel crunching numbers or having to type stuff up for my job or answering emails. So I'm always doing that. But if I have time, I might jump on the MK1, uh, Injustice 2, what else? Tekken. I haven't played many of those in a while. I played MK1 pretty recently, and not so much COD. Oh, and maybe occasionally Fortnite. I do like Apex Legend. Apex Legend is cool. Um, and I wanted to get into PUBG and Repo. Repo looked fun. I think that's on the Steam network. I wanted to get into that too. That looks really fun with like the little trash can things. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Absolutely. You said PUBG is so fun. Yeah, I always wanted to play PUBG, but I never got an opportunity to. I think it's on a Steam network. I'm not entirely sure. I like story games like Hogwarts Legacy and also like Disney Streamlight Valley. Oh my God! Oh, what was that? That Disney movie or that Disney game? Oh my God! It had all of the Disney characters, and I remember that theme song used to come. It was like, "When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby." Don't go simple and clean like the way that making me feel tonight. I remember they used to always play that. I remember I played that game. It was so fun. I forgot what it was. What was it? Oh my gosh. What was that game called? Oh my gosh. By the way, what's your hobbies? I deal in blockchain, Web3. Those are like legit my hobbies. I love drone tech. I mess around quite a bit with drone tech. Like what else? I'm starting to get into streaming more. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm simple, man. Like I just be chilling. Just and I love traveling. Traveling. I travel a lot, so I love traveling. Love it, love it, love it. So I go to many places all the time. So what was that game called? Oh my God, I cannot remember that game. Shit. Where have I traveled? You know, to be honest, Car, I've traveled more overseas than I have here in the continental US. So I like routinely go to like London, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Spain. A good friend of mine that I served in the military with, he's an expat. He lives in Spain. I go there to visit him every year, right? Sometimes several times a year. He lives in Alicante, Spain. I've never been to Barcelona, never been to Madrid, but I've been to Alicante and Benidorm many, many times. Many times. Great beaches, you know, chill, great, safe, healthy food. It's a good time. Absolutely, car. You got to open your mind outside, right? But you know, a lot of people can't live a life like me. You know what I mean? See, I have the luxury of being able to openly travel when I want. Like for a lot of people, I get it. It's a big deal. They have to They have to uh, plan for a long distance before traveling overseas. Like, oh, I have to make sure all of this is me. I mean, I could plan. I kid you not, right? A month, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, something like that. I woke up at 7 a.m., right? I just wanted to go to Europe. By, I would say, 12 noon, I was on a flight to Europe just because I wanted to go. That's the lifestyle that I live, right? Just because I wanted to go, hey, I want to go to Europe for a week just to get away. Book the ticket, I'm out of here. I make stuff like cool logos, banners, similar design. Also do this for streams. I'd like to be happy to show you. Okay, that's what's up. No, I already have someone to do that for me, my friend. I appreciate it, though. Thanks. Scuba diving so you can see her without makeup. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take her ass out in the water. Absolutely. Well, you know what that saying is, right? Women who wear makeup, they're making up for lack of aesthetics. And that's the thing, like ladies, you don't need a lot of makeup. You just need a little bit. Yeah, you just need a little bit. You just need a little bit. That is it. No, I'm good, Zara Ben. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. No, thank you, Zara Ben 39. I appreciate you. Let's see. Zara Ben, yeah, for sure. I appreciate the hustle, though, my friend. But yeah, I wouldn't be interested in that. I have people over here where I'm at that do that. For sure. Man. Yes, spiritually humble. Yes, they do. They do all the time. Usually when I book for and folks, we could get, I'm going to remove this for a little bit. We could talk about something else too, okay? I'm going to remove this. We're going to take a little break from this. Let me remove this real quick. All right, we're going to remove this. All right, so here's another thing that I want to, oh shit, my bad, y'all. Damn. Oh shit. Damn. All right. So listen, if you're going to be traveling, I would recommend getting like travel cards, right? So I'm going to hide my name and everything. Let me make sure. But these are probably the best 2 travel cards you can have right here, okay? Let me flip my screen. Well, I don't know if y'all can see this, but having these 2 travel cards, these are the best 2 travel cards, okay? I don't know if y'all can see that over here. The best 2, okay? You get the most rewards with these. The best 2 travel cards. All right? Just keep that in mind, y'all. You do some good stuff with that. And a lot of times, too, right, you have access to, like, exclusive lounges. You get great discounts. You get priority. check-ins. You get huge benefits with like hotels and rental cars and all that. It's legit. It's some good stuff. The other one is a Chase United Club. A Chase United Club, yeah. It's the Visa Infinite card. It's the here. Let me flip the screen so that you can see it. Hang on. So it's the United Club. This is a Visa card, but this is a really good card. Okay. But you have to qualify for it. But for as long as you qualify for it, you're good. And I mean, even with the Amex, you could qualify for it. No biggie. I'm sure you could qualify for it. No problem. Let me flip my screen back. That one was actually better anyway. Let me see. Shit. All right. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. That's better. All right. But yeah, you could easily qualify for it. No problem at all. Whoops. Isn't that when you fly and you have to get into club to earn it? Probably, yeah. But no, with this, I mean, a lot of that stuff, it comes complimentary. So with these cards, with some of them, you can use them. A lot of the benefits is complimentary. I mean, you could just chill. I mean, even in their lounges, you go to the airport, you don't have to worry about buying food or nothing. They have everything in there, like whole meals cooked. You could just eat until your stomach is just full. Just go there and just go to town. Drinks, coffee, all of that. And we know how expensive food is at the airport. But having this, these cars, they're expensive, but they pay for themselves for as long as you use it right. Yes, so the Amex is not. The Amex Platinum is not. You could just get the Amex, and it has its own rewards, its own benefits. So, for example, with the Amex Platinum, you can get on with Marriott Bonvoy, and just by having a card, you're automatically upgraded to their gold member, their gold status member. So that means you get access to many exclusive perks through at their gold tier. And you get other complimentary things like internet. In some instances, you might get free breakfast, and there's a whole host of other like little benefits and perks you'll get. They may give you a complimentary upgrade, like a suite upgrade or a room upgrade. Like you get like funds to buy food, to like have like rooms. So it's legit. It's legit. It's some good stuff. Yeah, exactly. $7 for water. Yeah, I be seeing them goddamn bottles in my room. I'm like, you guys are crazy. I don't touch them, even though they be like, oh, you got a credit. I still don't touch them because I think it's a scam. I'm like, why would I pay seven? I mean, that's just me. I mean, can I? Yeah, but just the principle behind it. It's like I'm not paying $7 for a bottle of water. Because the crazy thing is, you could just go downstairs and they'll give you bottled water for free. And I'm like, well, why would I get that water when I can just go downstairs and you guys will give it to me for free? Bottled water, right? I don't mind going downstairs and they'll give you all the bottled water you want. You like, give me 20 of them. They're like, here's a case. And you're like, great. They don't give a shit. It's just like, well, why would I pay for that when they just give it to me for free? Bottled water. A lot of hotels do that. It's crazy. It is unbelievable. I never understood that. But I guess it's just the convenience because people are like, no, I don't want to leave from my room. No. I'd rather pay $7 for this water that's been sitting here for years because no one wanted to buy it. But I want to buy it because I want to show this hotel that I'm not cheap. I'll be the first one to say I am cheap. When it comes to stuff like that, I mean, I'll give someone a gift on here on TikTok just to support, but I'll also be the first one. I'll be like, I am not buying no goddamn bottle of water. You know what I'm saying? There's principles behind this shit. There are principalities. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. I can't do it. If she got to put in as much work as you, she going. Yeah, exactly. Convenience, exactly. Consumerism is based on a lot of that, yeah. And that's the thing. You hit it hard there. Consumerism is based on that. Do you believe in dinosaurs? Yeah, I do believe in dinosaurs. I do. I do believe in dinosaurs. Absolutely. I mean, look at what happened in Papua New Guinea, right? They found like hundreds of new species of animals, right? Even like plant life. They thought that some plant life that they found there was long extinct, right? And it hasn't been discovered in like hundreds of years, and they found it in Papua New Guinea, right? Along with like frogs with fangs and like rats the size of small dogs, and they found 20 new species of fish. They found like weird birds with like heads that shaped like half moons and shit. It was just a lot of weird shit that they found there, you know. Autocorrect being a pain, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I get a lot of that. Fishing and hunting sounds awesome, or even camping. Yeah, for sure. All of that sounds good. If your date is a walk in the woods or fishing, she's going 100%. Yeah. She's talking about with airlines. That's with airlines. So he's answered. Okay. For me, it just seems like harsh to put in all the work on men, especially with rise of mental health of that. Well, I mean, it's not, it's not just a thing of that car, but it's, we want to also focus on what's happening with women too, right? I mean, that's always been around with men, right? Men always are the ones that have to serve in the military, have to expose ourselves to dangerous substances, mercury, all of this dangerous stuff, right? A lot of toxic things. We have cancers and all of this other shit, right? So, I mean, it's not new for men. Even in a lot of working environments, men have to contend with harsh working environments. Even with me, when I was in the military, at the damn training facility, the damn water was like toxic. We couldn't even drink much of the drinking water because it was toxic. It had lead in it. And every time we drink, they had to test the water for lead. And even at that rate, the water still tested positive for small traces of lead. But we were still required to drink it. And many of us were so damn thirsty, we didn't care. We just had to drink it. And for those of you that don't know, I was in the Marine Corps for several years. I served in the Marine Corps for several years, y'all. Yeah. Life and happiness. I certainly believe that there is life on other planets. One would be a fool to believe that we're so special to be the only living organisms on the planet, right? But I mean, in this vast universe, I'm pretty sure there's life on another planet. I'm pretty sure there is. One would be crazy to believe that there's not. There's definitely life elsewhere. Definitely. We just haven't discovered it, or it hasn't discovered us yet. How about that? So what did y'all think about that conversation? Did y'all like it? I know it was tough for many of you, but some of you that are here, it appears that some of you have kind of calmed down and relaxed and just understood that, listen, I mean you no harm. Most men mean you no harm. The conversations may be tough, but I appreciate y'all for engaging and for interacting and just being here and just hearing me out, And hopefully we could talk more about it later. And you see, we just kind of pivoted to something else, right? We're talking about traveling and credit cards and rewards and benefits. So like I said, I'm just here chilling. Y'all just here chilling with me. That's all we're doing, It's all good. And then I'm hoping that we can continue this conversation tomorrow. I'm going to touch on some other things, right? I'm going to revisit the CIS code, the infamous CIS code. And I'm going to revisit this notion of why are so many women single. We know why, but I still want to touch on it. because part of me asking this question is I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear why. I want to hear from women why women believe that they are single. That is it. Well, listen, I mean, we live in an age of artificial intelligence, AI, right? And folks, they're already introducing artificial super intelligence, right? They haven't even put the AI on a quantum processor, right? Because it scares the shit out of people, right? They put it on a quantum processor. People are like, oh, it's going to be like Terminator. You put that shit on a quantum processor, that's like eons beyond Terminator shit. I mean, that'll be some scary shit to put AI or super AI on a quantum processor. I mean, yeah, that would be some crazy shit. But I mean, even right now with artificial intelligence, we're already on the brink of discovering new elements, cures, right? All of that stuff. I'm hoping in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm hoping that we have a cure for cancer and numerous other things like heart disease and all of this other shit. Hey, Car, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't do too long. I wasn't in for a very long time. I was only in for 4 years, but that was 4 long years. But nevertheless, it was crucial. I had to do a lot of crazy shit, and this is the type of stuff that men do. These are the type of things that men have to do. Were there women? Sure, but men are overwhelmingly part of that force, part of doing those dangerous, tough jobs, right? Not only that, I did volunteer work. I continue to do volunteer work for my community. I do all of that stuff, right? But even when I was in the military, right? When there was floods, flash floods, natural disasters, community relief efforts, all of that, guess who they called? Active military, me, right? Folks like me. Hey, go over there. Toys for Tots, all of that shit. I had to do all of that, right? So it was in so many different capacities. Don't get me wrong, I know some women out there be wild. I had a friend who is always going to be single. Yeah, for sure. And, some folks, that's why I don't, I mean, and, men, we've been saying it for the longest. We just, we make songs about it and all that. And we know, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. We know the songs, right? I mean, men have been warning and talking about it for years, right? She's a runner. She's a track star. She's going to run away when it gets hard, however it goes, right? She can't stand the pain when it gets hard. Whatever. That's actually a good song, and it perfectly describes a lot of women, right? She's a runner. She's a track star. Because it basically paints a picture of a woman who, she's not there when things get hard. She runs. She doesn't want to fight. She doesn't want to build with a man. The moment a man can't give her what she wants, she runs away. And these are songs that's been around for a very long time. Even these type of songs, even these more contemporary hits, they've been around for a very long time. Yeah, AI is definitely terrifying. Do you believe the pool of available men is much less than the number of women? Yes, and I mean that's just basic numbers. Love and happiness. That's just bare basic numbers. Because what we do know is in America, women outnumber men by millions. So just on that, even if you take all men and all women, there's still going to be a huge surplus of millions of women who's not going to have a man, right? But then to make things extra interesting is many of these women, they're below average and average, right? But then they want this exceptional above average man. And this above average man, he has to be height appropriate. He has to be age appropriate. He has to be socioeconomically desirable, right? He has to be, in a halfway decent, appropriate weight. He has to, all of these things has to, be aligned with what these women want. So once you crunch all of that away, you're left with this deity, this godly unicorn man, right? And that's why when I did the delusion calculator, it gives like the realities, right? Because generally most women want a man that's like 6 foot or taller, right? Well, that right there, only about 14.5 or so % of the population of men are 6 foot or taller, right? And that's all men. That's young, old, black, white. That's like all men, married, gay, whatever, right? Bi, that's all men, all across every spectrum, right? In America. But then once you take away, everything like single, healthy, if he's a specific race, even if you don't want that, but if he's a specific race, if he's, I don't know if I said it already, age appropriate, if he's so many of these things, right? Once you take all of that away, you're left with a 0.00001% of man. But then that man has to like you back. That's the other component that a lot of ladies feel. It's not like, yeah, that man exists, and then when he finds me, all is good and well. It's like, no, then that man has to like you back. Now we get into the area, now you're competing with other women around that man, and that's all what the conversation was about. But you notice a lot of folks, they don't want to hear that, which is fine. And like I said, I'm all just for basic logic. That's all it is. Just, irrefutable logic. That's all. Everything is, I don't speak in my truth. That's all. This is not my truth. This is not my truth. This is all the objective truth. Everything is objective here. Oh, you think about the robot movies? Yeah. Yeah, for sure, Car, I appreciate it. I could never do that and recognize that as a teen. I thought I could until my sis came back. Ah, okay. Damn. And she didn't do well in boot camp. Ah, shit. So was she in the Marine Corps? You see, love and happiness. Thank you so much. You said I see your point. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out. And if y'all haven't already, be sure to follow me. Like I said, regardless, I appreciate the conversations. You guys are awesome. You guys are cool. Thank you so very much. It is now Monday, y'all. I can't believe it. It is Monday. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me, Thank you so very much. If you haven't already, like I said, hit me with that follow, y'all. I appreciate it. Oh, she went to Paris Island? Damn. Yeah, so in Marine Corps parlance, I'm what they refer to as a Hollywood Marine because I went to Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego. So they refer to Marines on the West Coast as Hollywood Marines because we go through boot camp in San Diego, California. We don't go through Paris Island. But we have a more difficult boot camp in California because we have to ruck and hike up and down the hills and all of this other stuff. And for the longest, I'm sure it's probably changed since, but the recruit depot in San Diego is where they train drill instructors, right? So we were around hundreds of drill instructors. We were like, you couldn't hide nowhere. There were like hundreds of drill instructors everywhere, right? And they just kept cycling like schools of them through, right? So, once one group of them finished training, there'll be a new group of them training, and we would see all of them. They would come through, they would fuck with us and all of that. It was bad. Haze us, all of that shit. Have us do crazy shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, Car. If you landed in social service, that's what's up, At least you have something, you have a reliable job. Hopefully you stick with it. I'm sure the benefits are great. You're in social service. Hopefully they're good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're hooking you up with some stellar benefits, which is pretty damn amazing and important. Oh yeah, the valleys. Rita, what's up, Rita? Welcome in, Rita. Welcome in. Whew, man. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, y'all. I mean, like I said, for the most part, I'm just chilling. Like I said, we've had difficult conversations, but I appreciate y'all for engaging with me and everything. I know it's kind of tough, but I think we got through it pretty well. And we're going to touch on it a little bit more. I may try to get on tomorrow. I'm going to try, but I have a pretty busy week. So if not, y'all might catch me next week, but no, I'm gonna actually try to get on every day this week. I'm gonna try, even if it's just for a little bit. I'm gonna try to get on every day this week. Good night, everyone. I enjoyed the conversation. See you tomorrow. All right, love and happiness. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us and talking and chilling. And tomorrow, y'all bring some coffee or something. Bring some coffee and tea. Let's have the conversation. I may bring someone up, I'm trying to invite someone else up that I know. He talks about this stuff too on his channel. So, when I bring him up, if y'all can, please, please, please go support him. I think right now he only has like 14 followers, Have a good night, Maureen. Thank you so much, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me, okay? And hit that notification bell too so that you know when I'm online again. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated. Welcome back, K9. K9 is back. Absolutely. So what else y'all got for me? Y'all got any other questions or anything before I wrap this up? Y'all got anything for me before I wrap this up? Woo-wee. And I got some other good news too, y'all. Guess what else just happened? TikTok just upgraded my account. So now I get to have more fun with y'all when I stream. So they just gave me access to more tools and resources. What's up, KK? How's it going? And listen, y'all, I'm trying to, so I am trying to get a new computer so that I can bring y'all better streaming. So I'm actually launching my new website. So kind of like my handle, BlockchayN. It's going to be BlockchayN.com. So when I launch it, I hope y'all go and support me. Go buy something, some merch or something like that. I could have a donate button, but I mean, I want y'all to buy something. I want to like send something out. What's up, KK? How's it going? I think that'll be fun. So I'm trying to get like just a little cheap thing, because this damn laptop, it ain't working for me. But you guys got to pay for it. I'm not paying for it. You guys got to pay for it. That's how I look at it as. I mean, I say that because I'm bringing y'all some good content. We're having a conversation, so I think it's a good trade-off. But yeah, I guess we're just chilling now. I'm trying to wait another 6 minutes, and I think I'm gonna go offline unless y'all ain't got nothing to say. So we just here chilling right now. Thanks for the likes, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so very much. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, y'all, just let me know. It's all good. We're just talking here. We're just talking and chilling. That's all. I know many talking here. We're just talking and chilling. I know many of y'all probably sleep right now. Y'all probably just put y'all phone to the side and y'all just have me talking and stuff, which is fine. But I would love to talk to y'all some more. So. Victor, what's up, Victor? Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in, Sir Victor. How the hell are ya? How the hell are ya, Sir Victor? Welcome in, my friend. What's up? Getting tired, y'all. Damn. Y'all, I've been on for nearly 3 hours. That's crazy. That is insane. I've been on for nearly 3 hours. Unbelievable. And right now, what I'm just doing is just testing out some things just to see what it looks like and just kind of going from there. That's all I'm really doing for right now. Nick Pristina, what's up? How's it going? Welcome in. Ooh, 3 more minutes, y'all. 3 more minutes, and I am out of here. 3 more minutes. It is late. It is very late, y'all. What's up, Global Noble L? What's up? How's it going? Thanks for sharing the live, my friend. Thank you for sharing the live. Hey, what's up, Nature? Welcome in. Welcome in. Duh, really, J-Way, what's up? All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I am about to sign off. I think it's about that time. It's gotten quiet in here. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, I'll try to be back on again. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Peace.